Morgan Wallen just dropped. Let's talk about it. How y'all doing? Welcome to Let's Talk About It Music Review Season 9. I'm back with another gosh darn dang episode. Guys, as I'm cleaning up, as I'm getting ready to get home from, working on the pool, doing the pool guard life, the lifeguard life and all that type of stuff. Y'all know how I do around here. I was, driving down home, and then boom, I heard the song, Morgan Wallen. Morgan Wallen just dropped a new song, and we've been talking about Morgan Wallen for quite a bit recently. Morgan Wallen has been featured on a couple of rappers that we've been covering over the years. And, I saw Morgan Wallen drop a new song. I was like, you know what? Let's give it a chance. This is probably, disclaimer before we get into this review. I don't like country music, but I'm not gonna hate on it or whatever, If the song is good, the song's good. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. All right, I'm very unbiased to country, but I also don't really care about country because, guys, new country sucks. Let me just be honest with you. All right, look. I know you're probably sitting there shaking in your boots, but you probably would agree with me. New country sucks most of the time. New country songs just don't hit the same. All right, I would much rather listen to old country songs than ever put my ears on a new country song. It's just bad. Most of them are just really bad. The lyrics are really bad. A lot of the melody, the vocals are so basic, Jason Aldean's a prime example of a country artist that I just don't care about, who's very unoriginal. I just don't care. There's a lot of country artists that just fall into the okay bracket, and they never evolve. They never evolve their sound. They never improve anything. But Morgan Wallen has been one of those artists that I've actually would rather listen to. One of the country artists that, if I'm going to listen to country, you better put on some Morgan Wallen or I'm not listening to country. So Morgan Wallen's actually kind of the star in my eyes, I guess you could say, than the other country artists. But Morgan Wallen dropped a new song. It's called Lies, Lies, Lies. Let's talk about it. Let's go over. I got a couple of points I want to get off my chest before we get into the review. I just got a couple of points I want to talk about real quick. Starting off with my first point. So my first point about this new song from Morgan Wallen is that the instrumental is just not the best here. The instrumental feels quite lacking. It feels kind of basic. It just feels like too much of a basic country instrumental, and I just don't really enjoy that. I like a little kick in my country instrumentals. I like a little violin in there. I like a little, some background vocals to really, make the instrumental come together. But when you just have a basic instrumental that just throws the same sad guitar, the same drunk sad guitar instrumental, it just gets really old really quick. And this is another example of Morgan Wallen just not really hitting the bar on getting better production or having better production in his music, which saddens me because I really enjoy Morgan Wallen's voice. I really like, the kind of energy he puts into his music. So it's kind of disappointing to see that this instrumental is just really basic. It's just really boring. I just can't, guys, I like a little complexity. All right, it's not too hard to ask. When I say complexity, it literally just means adding a couple of more instruments in your instrumental and to make it more wide, to make it more enjoyable, to make me want to go back to your song. If you're just going to do a basic instrumental, why am I even listening to it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry, basic instrumental, I'm going to say it. It's basic. It's whatever. My next point too is that there's not a lot of vocal variation in Morgan Wallen. In the song, Morgan Wallen has always had a pretty good voice. He's always, had great singing in his, he's always had some great vocal variation, switching up his flows in the whole song, adding some vocal complexity into the song, which I always enjoy. That's why I always enjoyed Morgan Wallen when he was a hook on one of the rappers we were talking about, because he had that vocal complexity. He added a little bit more. Here it just kind of feels like he's like singing, he's like reading a script. It just feels very like mundane. It feels like he just, got up and said, "All right, let's record this," and then he just, read off some lyrics, and that was it. Not a lot of soul here, not a lot of kick here, not a lot of things that I just really made me grab onto the vocals here, which just really saddens me, to be honest with you. I really wish that Morgan Wallen had a little bit more vocal complexity, and I just wish there was just more vocal variation. I'm really tired of artists just being lazy. All right, add a little bit more. It's not hard. Artists do it all the time. Some of the best artists that I've covered, Morgan Wallen has even done it himself. All right, I've seen he can do this. I've seen the potential this man has done. I mean, Lord Mighty, what are you doing? But yeah, I mean, I just really wish the vocals were there. Also, another point too. Oh man, I just don't like the structure of the song. It's a little too samey on the structure. I don't really get into song structure that much because honestly, a lot of songs are 2 minutes long. They're like 1 minute long. There's not a lot of song structure that I can tell you about. I could just tell you the hook, the verses, the beat, and that's it. But here, the structure's a little bit too radio-esque, a little bit too, boom, I'm just trying to get high on the country charts, it feels like. And I just wish there was just a little bit more better structure in the song. It just feels very basic. It feels very, honestly, it feels like a pop structure. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very pop structured. And it's not the good pop structure like Billie Eilish or like Sabrina Carpenter or whatever. No, it's basic. It's boring. I don't want to listen to it type structure. Like, I'll spin this song on for one time and that's it. I mean, Lord Mighty, please add a little bit more to your music. I just wish that. But yeah, that's all the points I want to say. But let's get into the review. All right, let's talk about Lies, Lies, Lies. And I wouldn't be lying if I told you this song is not the best. Let's start off with the instrumental. The instrumental is okay. It's just kind of basic. It just kind of has kind of the same kind of format here. The sad acoustic guitar. And then, some, vocal, some, it's that basic, it's all that. It's basically that. I mean, it's basically that, it's not too stripped back where it's like these mountain country singers. It's not that stripped back, but it's pretty stripped back. And it's kind of disappointing it's that stripped back, in my humble opinion. Also, let's talk about the verses. The verses are pretty okay. The singing is okay. The flows here are okay. It's all right. It's just not really hitting nothing for me. I just really wish it would just be. I just wish it'd be a lot better in my opinion. But it's whatever. The verses are okay. The singing's quite good. There's just not a lot of flow switch ups in the song. And there's not a lot of flow switch-ups overall in this whole song anyway, but the verses don't really switch it up. The verses kind of, feel very one note in my opinion. But let's talk about the hook. The hook is definitely the best part of the song. Even though the hook is really basic, Morgan Wallen's voice is just really good. It's just really, it really grabs you. When he sings, he always knows how to sing a hook really good. And that's one of those examples where, yes, the hook hits pretty okay. Not the best Morgan Wallen hook. I've heard way, 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 way better Morgan Wallen hooks in my gosh darn dang opinion. But for being this, for the verses being whatever, for the instrumental to be whatever, the hook's good in that regard. Guys, overall, I'm quite disappointed. Morgan Wallen's been on a little bit of a row here, just doing really great feature runs on rappers and stuff like that. And I thought Morgan Wallen coming out with the song he was going to do. Oh, and he had a song with Post Malone, and that was a really good song he did with Post Malone too. Like, I'm just like, man, I really wish there was more here. I really wish there was just a little bit more here. But yeah, overall the song's just okay. It's a little too okay. It's like the bad okay. It's like, no, it's like I listened to it once and then I never listened to it again. But yeah, overall, this song's okay. I'd probably give it just a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10, what'd you think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I don't know. Let me know. Thank you so much for listening, guys. If you're on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you get your podcasts at, make sure you follow. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you turn on notifications. Because, guys, I'm coming out with new content. All the guys start at any time. We got gaming content. We got music. We got music reviews. We got gaming content. All right, we're covering College Football 25, the game, on the middle of July. So we got all sorts of stuff coming out. We got all different types of content for you to check out. So make sure you check that out. Anyways, I'll see y'all later. Bye.